Hey, New Break, how you doing? If you have been following us, you know that we are talking all about Psalms of praise. Marcus and Nikki were on yesterday. They had so much fun and were so goofy that they set this standard that I'm really nervous about. I don't know if I can live up to that, but I'm going to do my best. So we're going to hop into Psalms 22, and we're going to start in verse 25. And this is a really cool passage about David just showing and giving praise to God. So let's get started. Psalms 22. Verse 25, I will give praise in the great assembly because of you. I will fulfill my vows before those who fear you. The humble will eat and be satisfied. Those who seek the Lord will praise him. May your hearts live forever. And all the ends of the earth will remember and turn to the Lord. All the families of the nations will bow down before you. For your kingship belongs to the Lord. He rules the nations. And all who prosper on the earth will eat and bow down, and those who go down to the dust will kneel before him. Even the one who cannot preserve his life. Their descendants will serve him. The next generation will be told about the Lord. They will come and declare his righteousness. To a people yet to be born, they will declare what he has done. And this is so cool because David is really, really good about glorifying and honoring God. And I think sometimes what happens with us as Christians is that we fall into this arena where we think everything's got to be perfect and we always got to be happy and life is just roses. And one thing I tell my students all the time is that when we become Christians, there's not a magic wand that goes, boom, ta-da, life is just glorious and perfect and never has an issue. So with that being said, when we think about David, the thing that I love about him is that he is so often portrayed in the Bible just how we are in our own lives. We have our own mess ups, our own mistakes. And David was this guy who messed up over and over and over again. And yet he comes back and he praises God. But I want to show you a little example of what I was thinking about David and kind of how sometimes we feel in our own lives. So we're going to actually go back to the beginning of this chapter. So chapter 22, verse 1. And David, this is where this starts out as. My God, why have you abandoned me? Why are you so far from my deliverance and from my words of groaning? My God, I cry by day, but you do not answer. By night, yet I have no rest. In this point, when David starts out in this chapter, he's in a place of despair. He's asking that question, God, where are you at? He's feeling like he's been abandoned by the God that he is following. And sometimes I think we can do that in our own lives. We look at the situations we may be in and we go, God, where are you at? Why are you so far from me? But the cool thing about David, and the thing that I think we have to remember, is that David always comes back to praise. It's not that David's life was perfect or he didn't have hard times or he didn't question God or even get mad at God, but he came back to praising and glorifying God. And that is exactly why I believe the Bible tells us that David was a man after God's own heart. A murderer, an idolater, a liar, a cheater was a man after God's own heart.